know we have two major types of taxes, direct and indirect. Direct taxes are on incomes. So employee income, the corporate taxes, investment income, gifts that we receive are also incomes that are taxable. And then, so once that are, and then capital gains, when you realize an asset, you have to pay tax. Then the indirect taxes are on goods and services. So we are looking at value-added tax, VAT. We are looking at the COVID levy of 1%. We are looking at the Ghana Get Fund, Ghana Education Trust Fund levy. We are looking at the National Health Insurance levy. So those are indirect taxes. And also, if you import goods, then you have to deal with the customs division, that is at the ports of entry, that would assess the value of taxes on the goods, and then you would have to pay. So we have the customs division, we have the domestic tax revenue division, and then we have the support services division. They give support in terms of logistics, audit, risk, and all to the two operating arms, as we call them. And so that is what we have in terms of structure. Then in terms of the types of taxes, we've mentioned some of them: the value-added tax, the Get Fund levy, the National Health Insurance levy, and the COVID levy, which came recently. And then if you get to look at withholding taxes, where a person is earning income, has done work for you, or supplied goods to you, or offered services, when you are paying such a person, the law requires that you withhold tax and pay over to the revenue. It's a payment in advance of the supplier's tax liability. So if it is a supply of goods, the withholding tax rate is 3%. If it is works, it's 5%. And if it's services, it's 7.5%. So those are the range of taxes that are applicable. And when it comes to corporate tax, we look at the activity that you are engaged in. So all businesses are captured to pay 25%. But if you are in mining and petroleum, it's 35%. If you are in the hotel industry, it's 22%.
So, Ali, so the lady who sells the kinky, the lady who sells the Indomie and all those are in the micro. What form of taxes are they expected to pay?
With those who are operating in that sector, we have what we call those who pay by way of tax stamp. Those who operate in kiosks and small shops, they pay on quarterly basis depending on the size of their operations. And so if you take the budget that was read and the laws that were passed after that, because of COVID, there is even an incentive for them that from the second, third, and fourth quarter, they are not to pay any tax. They have been given an exemption.
So all businesses that fall in the micro...
In the micro sector, they pay by tax. Now, hairdressers, beauticians, tailors, carpenters, they fall in that category. And then we also have those who are operating transport by way of taxis, the trotros, they are also in that category. So they are enjoying that relief from payment of tax for the second, third, and fourth quarter of 2021.
Let's look at small businesses where we see a lot of young people who were in the corporate decided to move into that category. For those people, what's in there for them in terms of taxes? I think this is the point it starts getting interesting.
In terms of taxes, when you look at the provisions for reliefs and incentives, if you are 35 and below, there is an incentive for you. If you're into ICT or manufacturing, you have 5 years tax holiday. You are not liable to pay tax. It's helping them to be able to start up and be able to make it. And so they have that incentive. And then also depending on the sector, the activity you engage in. If you're in the hospitality sector, for example, under the budget and the law that came, they have been given 30% rebate of their taxes. And the hospitality sector, they are already 22%. So 30% rebate shows that you have a lower tax again. And if you are engaged in agro-processing, for example, you have within the first 5 years before commercial production, you are paying a concessionary tax rate of 1%. And if you are into waste processing, you have 7 years to be paying only the 1%. And if you are into agric, it depends on whether you are into tree crops, then you would have for the first 10 years 1%. If you are into cash crop, maize and sorghum rice, then you have 5 years to be paying only 1%.
Okay.
So the sector you are engaged in comes with the incentives.
But we have a lot of conversations where people are saying we are paying too much taxes and all that. But with what you are saying, it appears there are a lot of incentives all over. So depending on the sector which sectors from what you've studied do not get these incentives at all? They are actually the ones
when
who are
into commerce.
Commerce.
When it's buying and selling, you don't have any specific incentive.